Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the testimony of Amber Heard on days 14 and 15 of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at a brief background in this case. I'll move to a summary of the testimony, then offer my analysis. In December of 2018, an op-ed written by the actress Amber Heard was published in the Washington Post. Without naming her ex-husband Johnny Depp specifically, she implied that he mistreated her during their tumultuous relationship. Johnny Depp filed a lawsuit against Amber Heard for defamation, and she responded by filing a countersuit. In April of 2022, the trial began in the Fairfax County Courthouse in Virginia. Now moving to the summary of the testimony, I will be covering Amber Heard's testimony under direct examination from day 14 and 15. This is where Amber's attorney is asking the questions. It is worth noting that Amber is not done with direct examination at the time making this video, so there will be additional testimony from her. I have changed the order of some of these items and paraphrased in this summary. Amber's testimony starts off with her talking about how it's terrible to relive everything during this trial. Then she gets into her background. Amber grew up in Texas. Her father trained horses and worked in construction. Her mother worked for the state. Amber wanted to get out of Texas and not spend time at home. She accelerated her education and earned a scholarship. She worked various jobs and volunteered at a soup kitchen. Amber played a part in a movie which led to a fellow actor connecting her to his agent. She moved to Los Angeles at age 17 to start her career. She attended every audition that she could, up to 10 a day. From 2002 to 2009, she had small roles in big movies and large roles in small movies. Amber met Johnny Depp for the first time when she auditioned for Rum Diary in 2008. She thought he was charismatic and well-read. She was given the part. Johnny said her character was the dream woman. Later, when filming in Puerto Rico, there was a scene where Amber kissed Johnny. He used his tongue, which Amber noted was unprofessional. Amber recounted an incident that occurred when she was visiting Johnny in his trailer one day. She was in a bathrobe, and Johnny kicked her robe up with his boot. He then pushed her down on the bed and said the word, "Yum." Amber laughed it off. Amber did not see Johnny for a while after this. He gave her a few gifts. She rejected some of them. She was asked to participate in a press tour in October of 2011. Johnny was recently single and curious about Amber's relationship status. She had just broken up with her partner. Amber and Johnny had chemistry and electricity. They kissed and fell in love. It was a magical time. Amber felt as though Johnny knew her, understood her. He made her feel seen, made her feel like $1 million. It was absolute magic, a dream, and intense. Amber said she fell head over heels for this man. Johnny disappeared for a while, saying that he had health issues. Amber talked about how Johnny was generous with her family. He gave her father guns and her mother jewelry. Johnny offered to buy Amber a horse. She said no. He did anyway. Throughout 2012, the relationship became more intense. Amber had butterflies. She had never experienced a love like that. Johnny was sincere. On occasion, Johnny would disappear. The not-so-subtle hint here is that he was using drugs and alcohol. When he was using, he was moody and critical. He judged the roles that Amber wanted to play as if they were making her dirty. Amber showed Johnny a photo of her in a dress, and he said, "This is how people will see you," implying that she would be objectified. Johnny would be violent occasionally toward various objects, like he would throw glasses across the kitchen. He would punch the wall close to Amber's head. When he was sober, he was a wonderful guy again. Amber recounted the first time that she was physically struck by Johnny. They were sitting on a couch, not fighting, just talking. Johnny was drinking and had a jar of cocaine. Amber inquired about a tattoo that Johnny had. She laughed. Johnny slapped her across the face. She laughed again, thinking it was some type of joke. He slapped her again. Amber just stared at him. Johnny slapped her for a third time. She lost her balance and landed on the carpet. Amber said that she knew that she had to leave Johnny despite him getting on his knees and saying he would never do it again. Later, Johnny visited her. He said he killed the monster. He would never lay a hand on her again. Amber remained in the relationship believing Johnny was telling the truth. Not long after this, Johnny started drinking again. He was critical of Amber's clothing, critical of who she was hanging out with. He accused her of cheating. He shoved her, threw things, screamed, and repeatedly slapped her. Amber claimed that she would go to another place. It sounds like she was trying to say that she dissociated. Johnny would sober up, and they would have a honeymoon phase. In March of 2013, after a period of peaceful interactions, Johnny started using substances again. He accused Amber of having an affair. Amber was madly in love with him, trying to hold on to the next period of sobriety. Johnny tried to burn a painting that Amber's ex-partner had painted. Apparently, he used a regular lighter. During a separate incident, Johnny hits Amber with the back of his hand, causing blood to come out of her nose. Amber minimizes this because she's tough. She was feeling insecure, never knowing what mood Johnny was going to be in or what was the status of their relationship. They had several more altercations. During one incident, Johnny held Amber's dog out of a window of a moving vehicle. He was howling, not the dog, Johnny. Amber managed to pull Johnny and the dog back in the vehicle. In May of 2013, there was an incident at a fancy trailer park in Joshua Tree, California. I found this curious. It led to a 15-minute research tangent. Evidently, this is a real place called Hicksville Palace. The place has 11 upscale trailers for rent. Amber said that a woman using drugs leaned on her, and Johnny became jealous. He grabbed the woman's wrist. Amber and Johnny then went into the trailer, where Johnny proceeded to smash objects and scream. He conducted a cavity search of Amber, believing she was hiding his cocaine. Despite this, Amber indicated that she was still in love with Johnny. He was the love of her life. She wanted him to get better, but he wouldn't admit he had a problem, and his staff was cleaning up for him. They were covering for his bad deeds. She believed that she could help him get clean and that she was saving his life. Amber talked about a few other incidents during which Johnny was allegedly violent. He grabbed a flight attendant's wrist, shoved Amber in a hotel, and became angry with Amber and grabbed her by the neck. He said he would kill her. Amber said this happened when Johnny was selling his yacht to J.K. Rowling. People say that Johnny can't relate to the average person, but everybody can identify with how stressful it is to have to sell one of their yachts. Despite all these problems, Amber agreed to marry Johnny after he proposed in September of 2013. She knew it was right because she looked into his eyes. Several more arguments occurred over the next several months. During an engagement party in March of 2014, Johnny disappeared for almost the entire party. Presumably, he was using substances. During another incident, Johnny was jealous because he believed Amber was involved romantically with the actor James Franco. When they were on a plane, Johnny threw ice cubes and utensils at Amber, slapped her, and kicked her in the back, knocking her down. When Johnny was trying to detox in August of 2014 on an island, Amber said that he wanted to have sex a lot. His mood was unstable, and he slapped her in the face. The couple married on February 3, 2015. Amber met him in Australia in March of that year, where he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean 5. This is where the famous fingertip removal occurred. According to Johnny, Amber sliced off his fingertip by throwing a large bottle of vodka at him. Amber had a different story. She said that Johnny was intoxicated. He was calling her names and held her by the throat. She shoved him and he shoved her back. He threw bottles at her, slammed her into a wall, punched the wall right next to her, and broke a phone. The breaking of the phone is what caused him to lose his fingertip. Amber said that Johnny pushed her on a countertop. She couldn't breathe. She looked into his eyes. They were black. She couldn't see him anymore. Amber unsuccessfully attempted to get through to the real Johnny. At this time, using a bottle, Johnny allegedly committed an assault of a sexual nature. After this, he wrote on the walls using his blood and paint. It was only later that Amber noticed his finger had been injured. During a later incident in Australia, Amber yelled at Johnny, they pushed each other, and she called him a name. During another fight, after Johnny took a swing at Amber's sister, Amber punched Johnny. According to Amber, this is the only time she ever punched him. Amber recounted a fight between her and Johnny on December 15, 2015. According to Johnny's testimony, he was restraining Amber after she became violent and their heads accidentally collided. Not surprisingly, Amber had a different story. She said that Johnny headbutted her in the nose, dragged her by the hair, and punched her. Day 15 concluded with Amber talking about another attack, this time in a bathroom. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few items that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Amber had a different explanation than Johnny for pretty much every negative interaction between them. She did not give an inch. Every time that she did something that appeared to be wrong, she presented it in a way where she was justified. If she was not being honest, I don't know if she was or not, it would be more convincing to concede a few points. Item number 2, when Amber was talking about their early interactions, like before they were officially a couple, she painted Johnny as a little creepy and stalker-like. For example, he made inappropriate advances and gave her expensive gifts. Whether it's true or not, Amber wants people to believe that Johnny pursued her. In addition, whenever he would become intoxicated and behave badly, he would come running back to her, apologizing. It's almost like Amber was doing him a favor by remaining with him. Item number 3, when Amber was describing their early relationship, she used a lot of expressions that indicated idealization. There's the sense that she believed the relationship was magical, intense, passionate, and perfect. She appeared to be offended by the love bombing before they were together, but viewed Johnny as generous after they became a couple. I find this interesting because it appears as though Johnny also idealized this relationship, like he referred to Amber as a stunning creature and called her perfect. I will talk more about this idealization topic in a case conceptualization toward the end of the video. Item number 4, Amber appeared to strongly identify with Johnny's artistic side, like she appreciated the arts as well. She was similar to him. During Johnny's testimony, he made it clear that he was creative, refined, sophisticated, and philosophical. Interestingly, Amber did not use language that was as esoteric, recherché, recondite, or arcane as the selections made by Johnny. Her word choices were more unpretentious, mundane, prosaic, and quotidian. There's the sense that both of them not only idealized each other, but they believed that they connected on some higher plane of existence, like when Amber suggested that she felt understood when she looked in Johnny's eyes. But later all she saw was darkness. There's almost a fantastical and supernatural component to the way both Amber and Johnny describe themselves and each other. Item number 5. Throughout her testimony, Amber repeatedly goes back to the idea that Johnny used substances excessively, behaved poorly, temporarily recovered, and then repeated the cycle. Each time he became clean, she believed he would remain sober forever. This narrative is consistent with what we see in relationships characterized by substance use. One person is caught in the grip of alcohol and drugs, and the other person is caught in the grip of hope for their partner's recovery. Item number 6, Amber demonstrated a few atypical expressions and reactions during her testimony. A few examples. She looked at the jury for a reaction a few times, like she wanted to see what impact her statements had on them. She often expressed a disgusted and incredulous look, as if to set the tone for how people should react to her story, like she was telling the jury what they were supposed to feel. Amber responded with a similar intensity to many of her concerns, which made her appear overly dramatic for some of the topics. She recovered quickly after talking about difficult matters, like she was just churning emotions on and off, or not having those emotions and faking them. Amber didn't really get choked up before talking about a sensitive or concerning topic, but rather she had a tear-free crying experience and exaggerated facial expressions after she talked about the event. It would have been much more convincing if she didn't rely so much on her facial expressions, yet just had tears streaming down her face. One could argue that her acting skills need a little work. Item number 7. While relaying some of her more significant accusations, Amber said she only had flashes of memory. Research has repeatedly shown that the problem with trauma is that people remember the events too well, as opposed to having memory retrieval problems. Trauma is associated with a failure to encode memories, but that's different than amnesia. When somebody doesn't encode a memory, their experience was never stored in their memory. They can never get the memory back because the memory was never there in the first place. Dissociative amnesia, on the other hand, is a failure to retrieve a memory that did form. There's a lot of controversy behind the concept of trauma and amnesia. Some researchers don't think dissociative amnesia is real. Others believe it is. Even those who believe it's real acknowledge that it only occurs in a small proportion of people who experience trauma. Amber could have dissociative amnesia, but statistically it is unlikely. It's possible that Amber is using the term flashes of memory to limit potentially damaging testimony. If she doesn't remember something, she can't be asked to talk about it. Amber often mentioned irrelevant details, like the carpet was dirty when she hit the floor, perhaps because she believed this would make her seem more credible. Item number 8. Amber acknowledged that she was nowhere near as successful as Johnny, but during some of her testimony, she painted this interesting picture where Johnny was restricting her success. He was insecure about her level of ambition, which limited her work opportunities, almost like she was setting up the scenario where her partner destroyed her career, which of course is exactly what Johnny is accusing her of doing. Item number 9. It appears that both Amber and Johnny agree that during the Australian incident in 2015, Johnny wrote messages on the walls in blood and paint. I don't think this helps Johnny's case. That's pretty odd behavior, not consistent with rational thought. The content of the messages supports Amber's claim that Johnny was jealous. Item number 10. At the very beginning of this trial, some people were still holding out hope that maybe this dispute was really just a matter of perspective, like Amber and Johnny perceived various events differently, as opposed to one or both of them being deceptive. Maybe they were telling small lies, but nobody was telling a major lie. Amber's testimony removes all doubt that one of them is lying about significant issues. The discrepancy between their stories is now massive, much more than can be accounted for by differences in memory, perception, or interpretation. With respect to some of Amber's more serious allegations, if she is telling the truth, Johnny looks like a monster based on what he did. If she is lying, Amber looks like a monster for making such serious false allegations. One can therefore conclude that one of them will be viewed by the public as a terrible person. There is no way out of this where they both possess a noble image. Now moving to my final thoughts. Here I will offer a conceptualization of this case. This is just a theory, my opinion. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp entered into a relationship based on extreme idealization of their partner. It was part of a narcissistic fantasy. As time went on, Amber started to enter into a love-hate cycle consistent with borderline personality. At times, she viewed Johnny as the best thing ever. At other times, she was disgusted by him. Simultaneously, Johnny developed another version of a love-hate cycle, not one based on borderline personality, rather one based on substance use. At times, he idealized Amber, but at other times, he idealized substances. Just like Amber was moving back and forth between love and hate, Johnny was moving back and forth between two entities he loved. But in order to love one of them, he needed to hate the other, because both of them required nothing less than his full attention. They demanded 100% of his love. The love-hate cycle of borderline and the love-hate cycle of substance use combine forces to act on the same relationship. When Johnny would swing into a devaluation phase toward Amber, her borderline traits would push her over to an idealization phase. The more he didn't need her, the more she needed him. The opposite was true when Johnny would swing into an idealization phase. Now Amber was disgusted by him. One of the partners was chasing after the other. Sometimes, instead of opposite phases presenting, both of them were in the same phase. So here we would see two people who were completely in love with each other, or two people who wanted to destroy each other completely. Like a double dose of love or a double dose of hate, everything was extremely intense. One would think that extreme love would fix the relationship and extreme hate would destroy it, but in reality, both phases are destructive. The couple was unable to achieve transcendence or elude the dark shadows, so they continued to see each other as public enemies. They go back and forth between love and hate, which crushes their relationship like a boat being thrown around in a storm. Now both of them are trapped floating on the wreckage of their relationship in what appears to be a permanent devaluation phase. Limited by their own lack of insight, they are unable to find their way to shore. That's my update on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comments section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.